Some people wake up at 5 a.m., work 10-hour days, never burn out, and get stronger every single year. Others want the exact same thing and quit by day 3. The problem isn't willpower. Willpower is a myth. Motivational channels sell you. The real difference comes down to 10 habits that literally rewire the neural pathways in your brain until discipline stops feeling like effort. Today I'm breaking down all 10, but fair warning, habit number 7 isn't really a habit, it's a switch. It changes how your brain perceives difficulty in a single day. Skip it, and you stay the person who starts on Monday. Watch until the end, and you'll feel the difference by tomorrow morning. Let's get into it. The first habit sounds almost too simple, but it's the exact point where discipline either falls apart or gets built for the entire day. Every morning before you touch your phone, you pick exactly one thing you will get done today, no matter what else falls through. Not a 10-item list, one. Research on cognitive load shows the brain treats a long to-do list as a threat and switches into avoidance mode. A single, clear target, on the other hand, activates the dopamine-driven planning circuit, the same one behind the thrill of a hunt. You stop scattering your energy and start acting from minute 1, instead of waiting for the right mood. Disciplined people don't actually enjoy difficulty more than anyone else. They've just trained their brain to survive the first 2 minutes. That's the window where the amygdala, your brain's fear center, fires its strongest runaway signal. Ride it out, and resistance drops fast. So the rule is simple. When you don't want to do something, you commit to just 2 minutes. Not an hour, not the whole task, 2 minutes. In about 90% of cases, once the brain is already in motion, it refuses to stop. This is the Zeigarnik effect. The brain fights harder to finish something it's already started than it ever fought to avoid starting it. Every morning, you have a strictly limited supply of decision-making energy. Psychologists call it ego depletion. Most people burn through it before breakfast. What to wear, what to eat, where to start. Disciplined people remove the choice in advance. Clothes are decided the night before. The day's first action is pre-planned, not up for debate. This isn't about being boring, it's protecting a limited resource. Every morning decision you eliminate is extra willpower banked for what actually matters later in the day instead of burning out on trivial things. Forget motivation. It's inconsistent and mood-dependent. Disciplined people build a system of micro-wins instead. Making the bed, drinking a glass of water, 5 minutes of reading. Each tiny win triggers a dopamine release that the brain associates with action, not with waiting for the perfect mindset. After 2 to 3 weeks of stacking these wins, an identity of someone who follows through starts to form. Your brain begins treating you as someone who finishes things automatically before you even have to think about it. Every switch between tasks or tabs costs the brain up to 40% of its productivity. This is backed by multitasking research. But the real cost isn't just time. Constant switching trains your brain to treat scattered attention as the default state. Disciplined people work by the one-screen rule: one task, one tab, phone in another room. The first few days feel uncomfortable. The brain literally craves its usual dose of switching. But within a week, focus becomes the default state instead of something you have to force. Most people go to bed without closing the loop on their day, and the brain keeps chewing on unfinished tasks all night. This directly hurts sleep quality. Disciplined people spend 3 minutes each evening reviewing what got done, what didn't, what moves to tomorrow. This offloads information from working memory into a written plan, so the brain stops holding it open overnight. The result is deeper sleep, less anxiety, and a morning that starts with clarity instead of mental clutter. And now, the habit you stayed for. Most people interpret difficulty as a signal that says, something's wrong, stop. Disciplined people train their brain to interpret that exact same sensation as, I am growing right now. This isn't positive thinking or self-deception. It's a specific reframing technique used in cognitive behavioral therapy. The moment you feel resistance, you say one sentence to yourself, this feeling is the training. Not after the difficulty, from in the exact moment of it. The brain physically cannot interpret the same sensation as both a threat and growth at the same time, and with practice it starts choosing growth. This doesn't change the tasks you do, it changes the actual architecture of how you respond to discomfort. And that's exactly why some people get stronger with every challenge, while others get weaker. The brain is bad at sensing progress it can't see. That's why disciplined people make progress physically visible. A habit tracker, a crossed-off list, a simple mark on a calendar. This triggers what's known as the unbroken chain effect. Visual proof of a streak makes the brain want to avoid breaking that chain more than it wants to avoid the task itself. Not because the task matters on its own, but because the brain hates losing progress, it's already banked. Time management is only half the game. Disciplined people manage energy, not just schedule. They put their hardest tasks at their natural peak of alertness, not wherever it happened to fit in the calendar. They protect that peak as fiercely as a meeting with someone important. Everything else, routine, emails, small tasks, gets pushed to their energy dip. This one simple reordering can multiply real output without adding a single extra minute of work. And the final habit ties all 9 together. Disciplined people stop chasing a goal and start building an identity instead. The difference is huge. A goal is, I want to lose weight. An identity is, I am someone who trains. A goal ends the moment it's reached, and the motivation disappears with it. An identity never ends because it was never about the outcome. It's about who you see yourself as every single day. Every small action from this video isn't a step toward a finish line. It's a vote for the version of yourself you want to become, and the brain literally counts the votes. The more small actions you cast for that identity, the faster it stops being a dream and starts being who you actually are. 10 habits. None of them require superhero willpower. All of them require one thing, starting with just one today instead of all 10 starting Monday. If this video gave you even one idea you'll actually use tomorrow morning, subscribe. It's literally a free vote for the version of you that you're trying to become. See you in the next one.